Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 4 of our Sinclair Violet sew along. Today we'll be creating that beautiful skirt that has pockets. I know I forgot to cut the pockets on day 1, but I cut them right now, so I have them. To prep the fabric for the optional pockets, go ahead and cut a strip about 1 inch wide of tricot interfacing. This is an interfacing that has stretch. Okay, so I cut 4 strips and I added them to the sides where the pocket will go. This is the length of the pocket. This will stabilize the pocket nicely, and I've done that for all 4 sides, okay, where the pockets will go. So now I'm going to place my pockets right sides together and stitch them down with my serger. Make sure that your pockets are facing the correct direction, so you can pin them in place, but you want to place your pocket along the side and the top will match. This is called an anchor pocket. So the top of the pocket and the top of the skirt are matching, and now we're going to stitch this down with 1/4 inch seam allowance. I love an anchor pocket because it doesn't move, it doesn't peek out of the skirt. Okay. So this is what it looks like. And again, the top of the pocket is aligned with the top of the skirt. And now we're going to be repeating this step with the pockets right sides together 4 times, well, 3 more times. Twice for each skirt. You can definitely pin it in place if you want. I'm okay not pinning it. Let's take the other skirt and we'll do the same thing with the pockets right sides together. Last but certainly not least, the other side. The pockets are optional, so if you're not adding them, you can just fast forward on this video when we start the gathering process. Actually, we're sewing the side seams. Let's understitch the pocket, which means with the right side up, so my fabric is right side out, and both the pocket and the skirt are right side out. I'm going to stitch from the top. You see this seam allowance? Press it towards the skirt. Check that. Cut. No, you press it towards the pocket. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this seam allowance that you see right here, you press it towards the pocket, so it's like this, and we're going to stitch on the seam right here on the pocket. That's with about a long stitch. Let's do a 4.5 stitch. And that's about 1/8 of an inch away from where the pocket meets the skirt. And I'll show you a close-up so you see what it looks like. Okay, so see here on blue, you can tell it's stitched on this side. So now this is laying nice and flat. Let's repeat this 4 more times. So this is upside down right now, you can see on the print. I'm putting both the pockets and the main right side up and the seam allowance towards the pocket and top stitch here, which will become technically an understitch. And let's do the same thing on the other skirt. Again, main fabric right side up, seam allowance towards the pocket here, and stitch on top with a long straight stitch. And last one, same thing. Both pockets are down. Both fabrics are up. Seam allowance is towards the pocket. And we stitch. From this point on, if you didn't add the pockets, you'll be starting here because we're going to sew the side seams. Okay. Take your 2 skirts that should be the same, and you're going to place them right sides together, matching at the side seams, and you're going to pin in place. If you don't have the pockets, you have 2 straight lines to pin in place. Because we do have the pockets, you're going to pin along the pockets. So this is one side. Can you see it? We're going to stitch all around the pocket and go all the way down. You can put a few pins if you want, or you can just stitch it by holding it by hand. Whatever, depending on your comfort level. So I'm back at the serger. Around the pocket, keep the raw edges aligned. If you didn't have the pocket, you have just a straight stitch here. And let's repeat the same thing on the other side. So, right sides together. Like so. And let's stitch first around the pocket. And then all the way down. the side seams are done. Now that we have sewn the side seams on the sergers, let's go back to the sewing machine and create the reinforcement for the pocket opening. So put 2 stitches that are about 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom of the pocket, like so. That will reinforce the pocket opening, so it's not going to be flapping and bothering you. So now at the bottom of the pocket we're going to do the same thing, about 1 inch, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches above, along the side seams. You're going to stitch down, and I'll show you how it looks like. See, this stitch right here, this one, and there's another one right here at the top. Okay, so repeat the same steps for the other side. And the last step for today will be to gather our skirt front and back and set it aside for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be attaching the skirt to the bodice and hemming. Super easy. Okay, so this is done. Before we start hemming, we're going to mark the center of the skirt, so we have it there for when we pin it in place with the bodice. I'm going to mark it with 2 clips. So there's 1 clip on the front and 1 on the back. Whatever method you want for marking, just make sure that you do mark your skirt center and front and center back. And now, using your preferred gathering method, go ahead and do a gathering stitch on both the front and the back. You can gather with your serger, you can gather with 2 rows of gathering stitches. My personal preference is to gather with the serger, but I do know that the pattern instructs you on how to do gatherings in 4 steps for an even neater and cleaner look. I prefer the quick method, in which I move to my gathering serger. You can see I have an extra serger there in the back, and that is used just for gathering. Don't mind my caffeine water. I have my flaws and one of them is caffeinated water. So here on my serger that I use for gathering, I'm going to run 2 stitches, 1 on the front and 1 on the back. This is set just for gathering. And I'm trying not to get in front of the camera, so I'm sewing kind of from the side. This is basically set at a longer stitch length and about an 8 tension and a 6 tension on my needles. You can play with your fabrics and see which one works best for you. Again, gathering styles is a matter of preference. I know not everyone likes to gather with a serger, but I really do. That's why I have this one here. Okay, so that's the front, and now I'm going to do the back. Same thing, and also, very important, as you can see, I'm not gathering through the pocket. The pocket is outside of my gathering stitches. I do like to leave a little bit of a tail at the end, just in case I need extra thread. But this is what it looks like. See what a beautiful equal gather, and this is the center. My pockets are like this. I haven't anchored them yet because I didn't want them in the gathers. So that is it for today. Snap a photo of your skirt as it is right now. Place it in the day 4 photo of the sew along album. You can find the album in the Backstitch Backroom on Facebook. And that will be your check-in for today. And I'll see you back here tomorrow when we'll be attaching the skirt to the bodice and hemming, and of course enjoying our new Sinclair violet dresses. Talk to you soon. Bye.